Hey everyone, welcome back to ReThink Reviews on the TYT network. Well, this is our guest researcher segment. I explained it in the first show, where normally what we're going to do is we're going to have a guest chosen from one of you guys, a volunteer, who will do some research for us on the subject that we're talking about. And then you'll get to present it on the show via Skype, which is a lot of fun. It's what I used to do basically whenever I was in here for the Young Turks talking about movies. I would do some research ahead of time. Cenk would give me some questions. I would have some questions of my own. And then I would start reading stuff. It's fun to do. It's nice to be able to do homework when you actually don't have assignments and pages that you have to turn in. You just get to look things up that interest you. But we have a very special guest here instead of our guest researcher. I think that he qualifies as a guest researcher. It's this guy. You might have seen him giving the news and recently being the news. His name is Cenk Uygur.
Don't it? Here I am, isn't it? Now I'm already having fun. Yes.
Exactly. He is my guest in his studio. So it's wonderful to have you here. And you know, when I was getting ready to do this movie, The Thin Blue Line, Anna mentioned, oh, you know who actually knows a lot about and is very passionate about the death penalty is Cenk. So we thought that you'd be a great person to have here. And one thing that I think makes you a guest expert that I'm not sure if all your viewers know is your legal background. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I am a lawyer, and I passed the bar in New Jersey, and that also qualifies you for Washington, D.C. I went to Columbia Law School, practiced for about 9 months, and then got the hell out of there.
Okay. and what kind of law was that, and were you a good guy lawyer or a bad guy lawyer?
I was definitely a bad guy lawyer, and that's part of the reason I left. The law that I did initially was corporate officers and directors liability litigation. Now that sounds like legal mumbo jumbo. That means you protect corporate officers and directors after they've royally screwed over people.
Okay.
Okay, it's the exact opposite of what I do now, where I go after the corporations and hold them accountable. I couldn't stand it. And that was for 7 months, and then for 2 months I did entertainment law, where I represented Montel Williams in a sexual harassment case. Which sounds sexy, okay, but first of all, he was totally not guilty. Second of all, you just do jurisdictional issues. It was actually quite mundane.
From what I understand, your stance on the death penalty has changed over the years.
It has. I think some people are going to be disappointed as to why. Okay. So first, the why makes sense. What is it, right? I believe in retribution. I'm a bad guy. Okay, that's my old conservative roots. Okay, we can discuss that in a second. But I stopped believing in the death penalty because I realized we were killing the wrong guys, and that was a bit of an issue. Okay.
That would be, yes.
Yeah. Now, what people don't know is, or a long time ago, I'm sure some people listened back then, but when we were on Sirius Satellite Radio maybe about 7, 8 years ago, I had this enormous debate with Mario Cuomo on the air, where he was against the death penalty and I was for the death penalty, right? And Ben was sitting there, he was a part of the show, of course, and he's like, what are you doing? Who are you to debate Mario Cuomo? But we went at it for like about half an hour. And I still stick by all that stuff. The main problem is, as we found out through time, whether it was in Illinois or all the other states, we kept letting people go because, oops, we had the wrong guy. And after like the 17th wrong guy, I was like, I don't want to kill these people anymore. This is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as they started using DNA, then all of a sudden, like a host of people all got let go.
Right, and I don't want people to misunderstand. I was wrong. Okay, so and I'll tell you why. What I mean by that. It's not like the DNA showed all sorts of new people were wrongly convicted. It showed that we were wrong about the convictions from the past. So when in the past I felt like there was some degree of certainty about who we were executing, I was wrong about that. Apparently there was not a degree of certainty, that we make mistakes far, far too often, and I can't have it. If I was 100% certain that the person was guilty, and now you can't be because of the structure of the system, but if I was, then it would be ideologically a different question for me, and I would have little to almost no problem with it, because again, I'm a bad guy.